Hi everybody, Shannon here. A couple things I wanted to update y'all on. I did not get the RV that I was wanting to get. They sold it because I didn't come up with enough money for purchasing it. I also have some doctor's notes here. If you're wondering why I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at myself instead of looking up here at this little hole. As y'all know, NBC came out last Monday and did an interview with me, and I think it went really, really well. With all the breaking news, excuse me, with all the breaking news that's happened over the last week, they have not had a chance to air my segment yet. I'm really looking forward to see how it turned out. Also, I spent all day with a photographer on Friday, and he got firsthand knowledge of the life of an Amazon employee who's injured. I went to the doctor on Friday because these papers right here, I sent back to them on the 17th per leave of absence team. They needed these papers in order to pay me short-term disability. So I sent these papers off on the 17th of August, and I waited and I waited and I waited. And the leave of absence team manager kept emailing me, telling me that he hasn't gotten the papers yet. So I sent Wise Urgent Care a message and wondering where they were at. Well, anyway, Friday, I got another email from the leave of absence team, and they said that they have not gotten the papers yet. Well, I need these papers. Number one, because it still shows my injury. See that? It still shows my injury. Number two, if these papers don't get filled out, then I don't get paid. Number three, if these papers don't get filled out, then they're going to cancel me off my leave of absence. So I thought, well, I'll just drive over there instead of calling, because, like if you just show up in person, sometimes, things move a little faster. Well, it's a good thing that I showed up on Friday, even though I had the photographer with me. I get up to the window, and come to find out, the papers were never taken out of the email, and they were never presented to the doctor. The doctor that I saw, had not been in since she saw me previous to that on the 17th. Okay, so I was a little upset about that, and because I need these papers in order to get paid. Well, she told me that she could squeeze me in, that the doctor that they had lined up was not behind in patients. Everything was running smooth on time. And I'm like, awesome. I was so happy that they could get me in that day. And the photographer went back to the room with me, and I sat there, and then I laid down because my back was killing me. And we talked, for a little while, and, some of the conversation was a little emotional because of just things that I've gone through with Amazon, and dealing with the leave of absence team and the doctors, and it was a little emotional. Well, over an hour later, the doctor still had not come in to see me in the room. Over an hour. So I got up off the bed, opened up the door, didn't see anybody, walked up to the front desk, and I was like, look, I've been in that room for over an hour. You told me that I was next and that the doctor was not behind. Why is it taking over an hour for a doctor to come see me in the room? And then she's like, oh, you're next. Well, about 10 minutes later, the doctor came in and she filled these papers out while I was there, and she did an examination, and they took me off work I'm going to look at the papers, y'all, okay? They took me off work until 11/26. So that's 1 year and 1 month later after my injury. Now, as I told y'all before, the doctors that they sent, the people that they send their employees to are these little emergency room clinics. The first time I ever went to one was at Care Now in Lake Worth. And 3 weeks into my injury, he told me, according to his ODG guidelines, that this was a 6-week injury. Well, fast forward all the way till today, which today is the 25th or 6th on Sunday. Here it is almost a year later. So you would think that somebody somewhere messed up. That, hey, maybe she is a little more injured than what we thought. And even though they're focusing on the injury on my back, they haven't focused on the other things that have, it's kind of like a domino effect. Like my neck right here is stiff, and there's a knot right here on my back. And I'm hoping that with the physical therapy and hopefully going in to see a chiropractor, that maybe some of these things can be resolved with just that. I don't know if I need surgery or not. One doctor told me that I would need surgery, and one nurse told me that I would need surgery. But I'm hoping that I don't have to have surgery. But what gets me is, you would think that if it's a 6-week injury, and yes, I've been examined by a state doctor that was not from Amazon and not from, it was an independent doctor, which he also deemed me impaired. So I'm not understanding why they are having a hard time believing that I am injured. It's been a long road. It has been. And I can't believe that I've had to fight for medical care and payment for this. I don't wish this on anybody at all. This has probably been the worst experience of my whole entire life. It really has. I've never claimed workers' compensation a day in my life until I got injured at Amazon. I was a healthy, vibrant 48-year-old woman in the prime of my life. And I feel like I've aged 10 years just in the last year alone. And with the treatment and the, the way I've been treated, people should not have to be given a hard time when they're injured. This process should be really, really easy. And I don't understand why they want to fight people who are visibly injured. And, it just, I'm really trying hard not to cry. Well, Friday, the doctor faxed these papers off to the leave of absence team. Friday was also payday for Amazon. And I, of course, guess what? Didn't get paid. I didn't get paid. And I have my room till tomorrow night. And then it's back to the Amazon parking lot. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea how much you mean to me. I want to thank everybody that's donated to my GoFundMe page, that's donated to my PayPal, and it really means a lot to me. It does. It really does. And for y'all to take time out of your day to donate your money that you worked for is very heartening. It really is. And I won't ever forget that. Never. So, sorry y'all. It's just hard reliving all of this all over again. Because it has been such a nightmare for me. And Amazon gave me a debit card that had $3,200 on it. And they called it good faith money or whatever. They owed it to me because they were waiting on my doctor's note to come back. Now, granted, I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate the money a whole bunch. But I haven't spent any of it because the $3,200 almost equals the amount of the $3,500 buyout that they wanted me to sign, and I refused to. And they told me that they owed me that money for being out of work and being on medical leave. I don't understand why they couldn't have just given me the money 2 months ago before I got evicted. And now I got evicted on July 2nd, August 2nd. I'm going into the third month in September. And I've spent more time in my car than I have in the motel room. It was actually just a luxury that I was even able to get a room. And now I'm hoping that I would get some more, donations so that I want to buy a place. I don't want to waste money in a motel. That's expensive. And every time I find an RV that's right around my price range, then of course people jump on it because I guess hunting season's coming up and they need an extra RV or something for a hunting cabin or something. I don't know. But every time I find one, I mean, it's gone within like an hour, a couple hours. Somebody just done snatched it up. And I'm just like, I just want a place to live. I want my own place. Someplace I can call home. So on September the 4th, I'm supposed to start physical therapy again. I go in for an evaluation, and then we start physical therapy again for my back. Me personally, I think there's something wrong with my back other than what they have put on these papers here, because I just don't understand why it keeps hurting constantly. I mean, there's got to be another reason why it keeps hurting. Not my spine, the injury. That's the part that keeps hurting. All the way from up here down to the middle of my back. And I'm hoping with physical therapy that it can finally get healed. But I'm going to sign off for now because I'm pretty upset, and I don't think that I can continue. Bye, y'all.